Way down here on that Spring Creek, Millville 2023, but what's up, my dudes? We're taking a look at the new DLC track for MX vs. ATV Legends. Have not even rode a single lap on this puppy. Whoa, Spency boy. That damn Yamaha YZ450 got some power. Alright. Let's see how narrow this track is. I'm expecting it to be a little bit too narrow, a little bit too small scaling. That seems to be the trend with these tracks. So we'll see here. Okay, definitely. Ooh, alright. Yep. Got the sand rollers. Definitely not going through there like Jet Lawrence right now. Okie dokie. Alright. Okay, so yeah, I like the feeling of this track. This is a little bit more of a pure sort of what I would think a sand track would feel like. You know what I mean? And of course, I've rode on plenty of full sand tracks in real life, so I know what they feel like, but I'm just saying, like, for the gameplay, I think this feels a lot more like Southwick should have felt like. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, like, their Southwick track from last week actually ended up feeling kind of weird because it was so power robbing and it was just so, like, I don't know, it got to the point where you feel like you couldn't even carry any momentum regardless of what you did on the bike. Of course, this is trying to be more like Millville, which is supposed to be a little more like, you know, sand mix. It's not like full sand like Southwick is, but the point I'm trying to make here, can we double this? Holy, oh, buddies. Okay, so fun fact, there's actually an invisible wall there on the MX Simulator Pro Spring Creek track, but there's not one on these Legends tracks, because I actually heard that from the developer, not the developer, one of the community managers, I think the only, or I don't even know, one of the head honcho community managers actually put in a comment of one of my videos that they really don't try to do invisible walls. Like, they're not into the whole invisible wall thing. They think that it's unrealistic, which is definitely true. I like how their sort of opinion is on the invisible wall situation. So you shouldn't run into any of that kind of weird bullshit on these Legends DLC tracks, which is good. Like, if you can jump it, then you can jump it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have some stupid restricting invis wall thing on the track that just blocks you from hitting a certain jump on it. What the fuck are you doing, RF? I don't even know. But, nonetheless, alright. Damn, that jump right there boots your ass, dog. That definitely got a little booter vibe to it. That one jumps you up pretty high, too. But this one just feels more like a pure kind of sand feeling to me. It's like you can carry momentum, but it's not like you're riding on a red bud either. It's kind of, you know, I think this is more like how the Southwick should have felt. Maybe slightly deeper than this right here, but this is a lot more how I was thinking their Southwick was going to feel. So you can really start to carry that momentum around on this track. Don't even know what to hit right here. That's an interesting little double up the corner. But like this jump right here, let's try to take it way outside. But like if you want to hit this, you can hit this. You know what I'm saying? Good luck landing on that jump face, but this is how you do it without invisible walls. You just build the track in a way to where if you don't really want somebody hitting a certain jump, then don't make it where they can hit that jump. There's 1,001 different ways to do that without invisible walls, all right? But nonetheless, I'm actually fairly impressed with this track, other than the fact that it's too narrow. You know, that's the only thing I would say to it. Like, this whole area right here, oh my God, that's getting, like, trail section narrow, MX vs. ATV. Like, look at this. I mean, holy shit. That is narrow, dogs. That is narrow, dogs. But the actual feeling of the dirt, I feel like, is way better, way more like it should be here than their Southwick track from last week. This, like I say, this was more of the Bro, these crash animations crack me up. But this is more like I'm saying the dirt feeling, or I should say the sand feeling that I was expecting on... Ooh, look at that inside pre-made rut, buddies. This is more like what I would have thought their Southwick would have felt like, maybe slightly deeper than this. But the problem with the Southwick track was... Not only did it feel like you were barely moving when you were wide open on a 450, but also it's like you couldn't even get momentum. Even if you held it wide open all the way down a straightaway, you were still going just about as slow as if you know, got up from a crash or something like that. Whereas this track feels more like it actually has a momentum. This is a lot more similar to your Sandwick on reflex kind of, you know, actual feeling to the sand. The, you know, the friction compared to the actual momentum that you can pick up on the track. You know, this is way more like a Sandwick than their Southwick track was from last week. See what I'm saying? Might be able to triple over that. I'm not really sure. But probably the fastest line right here is to go like way inside, roll this, clutch boost that, and then you can hit this. Okay. But yeah, look how narrow, dog. Oh my goodness. You know it's narrow when it's like you just barely jump to the side of a jump and you're all the way off of the track. Deformation looked kind of sick though, bro. Definitely let me know down in the comments which one of these Legends 2023 Pro Motocross tracks have been your favorite so far. I'd like to take a look at that. Just kind of see what everybody's thinking was the best one. It's almost like... Bro, what it... Look at this. It's like you're scared to even get on the gas because you know if you do, you're just going to land on the side of the track. Like, I shouldn't be... Most of my skill on the track should not be, oh my god, let me try to keep from going too far left or right. Like, that's more of what you would do on a trail track. You know, you wouldn't do that on a motocross track. I just... Man, that sucks that they... continue to go down this road of narrow, let's go twice as narrow as what a normal track would be like in an arcade dirt bike game. That is literally what this is right here. It's twice as narrow as that. Oh, Chatapult. Got that there, Chatapult, brothers. Holy scrub daddies. Can you jump? Whoa, you might be able to like quad into that corner. I don't know. But I mean, the pre-made feels pretty decent. But again, when you make the track so narrow, you can only have... Whoa, that was fast. And then that's weird as fuck. I don't know what to think about these new crash animations. I mean, they're cool, but it's kind of weird how it, like, initiates them. And if you play this game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's just like... You're definitely crashing in a lot of spots that you wouldn't really think you'd be crashing in on an arcade dirt bike game. Differently from the way Legends felt when it very first came out, too, by the way. Yeah, if I go like way outside here, that's kind of pointless. Yeah, you kind of get in like a bit of a jump in a bit of a hole there before the jump face, which I think is MX vs. ATV trying to be like, we don't really want you jumping that, but you can go for it if you want to, you know. That's the way big jumps should be. Even ones that you're not really, quote-unquote, supposed to hit, you know, they should still be, like, possible, but just really hard to hit, versus going down the invisible road, visible wall road, you know what I'm saying? But, like, this whole entire area right here is way too narrow for any dirt bike game. I don't care. Even for a simulator, this would be too narrow right here. This is just giving me those weird, like, MX bikes kind of vibe, track design vibes, where everything is so narrow, you know? I don't know where that comes from, because it's not like these smaller scaling tracks have ever been praised before. It's not like these kind of super small, narrow, one-to-one scaling tracks have ever been on anybody's top 5 track list or anything like that. It's your more legendary tracks that have been remembered in these arcade dirt bike games are more like your reflex stock track kind of vibes, which, like I say, are basically twice the width of this kind of a track. Twice. I mean, yeah, some of these jumps are decently sized, but even just like overall scaling, like, I don't know, man. She's narrow, though. There ain't no doubt about it. She is definitely narrow. I do like the fact that you don't just totally lose all of your speed going up, what is this, Mount Martin right here? Mount Morris? I don't know what the hell this shit is, but, okay. Those hills don't feel quite as extreme as what I think they would be like in real life. They seem a little more mellowed out. I don't know if they did that for like a gameplay purpose or what the reason for that was, but definitely huck daddy that, brothers. Then you can jump. Oh, you can almost get like a little double into that kind of a rhythm there. Let's get this bad boy in first person. See, when you get it in first person, the track doesn't seem quite as narrow, you know? It doesn't seem quite as bad. But, like, I'm telling you right now, for an arcade dirt bike game, like, this is unbelievable type narrow. Unbelievably narrow. Like, there's a couple spots where you could barely even fit 2 bikes through there. That's like GNCC. That's not like, you know, motocross track in an arcade dirt bike game. That's like GNCC level type shit. And it makes it so much more weird trying to, like, really carry your speed. Like, going into those sand rollers, for instance, and, like, right here, it's, like, super hard to carry the speed around without just instantly hitting the edge of the track or instantly jumping off to the side of the sand rollers, you know? That shouldn't be what you're worried about on a motocross track. I mean, yeah, every once in a while you should, you know, if you're really just wide ass open, you're going to fly off the side of the track, but it shouldn't be something where it's like, you know, every 5 seconds you find yourself jumping off the side of the track because of how narrow it is. That's when you know an arcade dirt bike game track is just too narrow. When you're just constantly like, why the hell am I on the side of the track in the hay bales? You know what I'm saying? That's definitely, this track definitely has that vibe to it for sure, for sure. See that deformation forming up. Actually, deformation feels pretty good on this track. But yeah. So this hill right here is just kind of so-so as far as how, but look at that, dude. Oh, man, that is unfortunate. And the reason why I say these things like I do is just because the fact of that I said all of this last year with their Pro Motocross DLC tracks from last year, you know? These are some of those things that I mentioned, you know? Tracks too narrow, scaling's too small, yada, yada, yada. And it seems as if they are still running into those same problems. Like, yes, they have improved some elements of these tracks from last year, but at the exact same time, some things they haven't improved on at all. Literally at all, brothers. So, just all something you want to... But it just makes it so... It limits your line options is what it does. When you make a track too narrow, it just limits what you can do on the track. Then it feels like you're just... All you can do is go in one line on the track. Like this whole entire area right here is the most one-line shit I have ever seen. That's not even... Like, some of these corners aren't even really corners because they're so narrow. You know, instead of me being able to carry my speed, I should be able to carry the speed all the way out to where that Monster Energy sign is and carry it plumb around and really hit these sand rollers. If you played enough moto games, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All that's all it really does. When you make something too small scaling or too narrow, it just makes it way more one-lined, way more basic. You know, you can't go in as many spots on the track. You can't carry as much speed on the track. You know what I mean? That's something that made those stock tracks on Reflex so legendary, was because of how many different ways you could hit shit. How many different ways you could hit the corner to hit the jump faster or hit it at a different angle. You know, this is a lot more like kind of one way to hit it type shit, you know? There's not even really lines on this track. There's a couple spots that have like one inside pre-made rut, like this right here. You know, there's like one or two spots like that, but like absolutely zero reason to go anywhere than furthest inside line right here. Absolutely zero reason to go anywhere other than furthest inside line right here. It's just, you see what I'm saying? Like, when it gets to that point, that's when you know you got your, there's that line right there. That's pretty quick. That's when you know you got your track too narrow. When it just gets super one-lined like that, there just feels like there's one spot you can go on the track. That's when you know, brothers. So either way, yeah, just crazy that they would continue to think that this is the best option for the width of the track. I can't really understand that. And it's not just the width of the track either. It is the overall scaling. I mean, there's some spots on this track that feel way shorter than they should feel. Look at this, though, dude. You can't even... Oh, man. Yeah, there's not much to even say about that. You can just see it. You can just see how it's way too narrow. I don't even have to say anything about it. You can literally just see it. That is crazy, bro. That is insane. But, like, this whole section right here, it just shouldn't feel this short, you know? From this corner to that corner should not feel that short. It almost gets that feeling like you're not even on a motocross track, because you're not really like carrying the speed around hardly anywhere. Because every time you land, it's just like another super tight corner. Every time you land, you're at another super tight corner. There's just not a whole lot of places that you're going to have that like motocrossy wide open all the way around the outside to hit some, you know. And this part right here, this specific area on the real life, you know, Spring Creek track, this was way further from the time they landed off that jump to the time they got all the way up at the top of the hill. That was way longer of a section right there. There's just no doubt about it. So you could see with them going with that smaller scaling vibe, it has certainly killed some of not only the width. See, like the width of the track is not too bad, like right here. There's a couple spots where it's not too bad, but it's where they've got it where the track starts to hit a corner, but it doesn't keep the same kind of width that it did on like the straightaway before the corner. That's when it starts to run into that problem. You see what I'm saying? I can basically diagnose exactly what it is here. But yeah, just unfortunate. I really wish MX vs. ATV would wake up to the fact that even though these are pro tracks, even though they're replica tracks, I'm telling you, you make that scaling bigger, it's not going to kill the realism of the track at all. It's not going to kill, you know, that track feeling like that real life track actually felt like. It's just not. It's just going to make the track better. That is all it's going to do. Give it more line options, make it where you can carry more speed around the track, you know. That's it, man. You can, I think you might even be able to triple to that, but like, look at this. That particular corner right here, I don't know who in the hell made that tight and narrow, but good God, man. Good God, man.